going on there, folks? Good evening. It is your Earthmaster here on this beautiful Friday evening, April 8th, 2022, about 7:48 p.m. California time. Out here with Missy Mimi's.
How's it going, guys?
Hanging out, just enjoying this beautiful Friday. Hope everyone else is doing the same. Latest quake out there shows a 2.4 earthquake into the area of Southern California. We have seen a little bit of movement down here along the Gulf of California recently. The USGS model not showing it, and surprisingly, it's not shown up here on the Earthquake 3D globe either. So we'll check it out a little bit more detail right now. There's the latest map here from the USGS. I want to pull over here to the EMSC model, see if I can find those quakes that were being reported. I know they came in through my earthquake app on the phone. Had a couple for us come in here, so we'll see what they're reporting here. It looks like EMSC looks like they got downgraded a little bit into the 3 range. Seen a couple earthquakes here in the Gulf of California region. Looks like the largest at 3.5, or maybe a 3.9. I've seen a 3.9 somewhere in the mix. So a little bit of activity kicking up here into the region of the North American Plate and the Pacific Plate area. Looking at the USGS map here of the all magnitudes, shows some movement within the last hour throughout the state. Down here around the Imperial Fault, it's just north of the border. A little bit of movement here up around the Brawley seismic zone and the Imperial Fault transition area. A little bit of activity up around the San Jacinto Fault zone, and one earthquake up here within the last hour north of the Barstow area. This earthquake at about 1.9 kilometers for a 2.3. Ridgecrest area still seeing quite a bit of movement. Also up here around the White Wolf Fault zone. Kind of looked at the fault system here last night. It's been quite a few years since they had that 7.5 earthquake. It looks like a little bit of stress and some build-up going on there on the eastern side of this specific fault zone. Up north here into the San Andreas Fault zone. Some activity along the creeping section. Also a little bit further south here around the White Canyon Fault. Still a section of the San Andreas Fault zone. Seeing some movement up and down the board there. Nothing major, just some microquakes. Also around the Pleasanton. A 1.2 earthquake here at 11.2 kilometers. Somewhat deep into that area. Cobb Mountain, Clear Lake area, still seeing some activity, and up in the Redding area just outside of this fault system here called the Battle Creek Fault. Seen a couple upper ones kick off here at about 14 kilometers. Nothing showing up here on the model, although this earthquake right here, well off the coast of Oregon, and it's right there, folks. It's kind of weird. It's about 34 kilometers deep, but it's upstream, kind of upstream, if you will. It's kind of an odd earthquake. I want to see if this 1.7 has been reviewed or not. It has been reviewed. I'm not so certain that is the depth, though, of the of that 1.7. We'll have to keep checking back on that. But if it is in this area, that's right up here along the locked area of the Cascadia, and start seeing some movement up there. We're down here right as it subducts into the zone here underneath the North American Plate. That could be a telltale sign there of possibly something releasing or getting ready to release here along the subduction zone. I know we get earthquakes off here from time to time, but got to watch it when it's up here in this region of the Cascadia megathrust area. That's when we start seeing the potential for a large earthquake in the region of the Pacific Northwest. Tremor map tonight, looking at about 47 epicenters of tremor, mostly into the Vancouver Island ranges and up down here into the southern Oregon area. So activity kind of slowing down after a pretty good 7 or 8 days of activity. Since about the 21st is when we had the movement kick up here. I want to go back here to March. We'll go back to, I think it actually began on the 20th, about the 20th to April 8th. We'll do that time frame here. And you can see the gradual change here, the downshifting here of the multitudes of tremors over the past couple days to where we're at on the 8th. So let's go ahead and check this out, see what we got for a tally. Looking at, come on, oh yeah, pretty good amount there, 10,429 epicenters And a bunch of it, no doubt, up here in the Vancouver Island ranges and into southern Oregon and northern California in 2 distinct spots right here. So that's a lot of tremor activity in, well, since about the 20th. What are we looking at here? Maybe 20 days?
Yeah.
Is that right? 20 days of activity. I think the largest date we had there was at 1,004 epicenters of tremor that occurred there around the 27th of March. So it's a pretty big number. A lot going on out there. I know we get tremor activity, but this little event that we've had here seems to be picking up pretty soon. Or as far as like the time frame since the last time we seen some tremor activity. Normally it's around every 14 or 15 months, they say, we get this little massive amount of tremor movement, but it hasn't been that long. We did have a couple months of quiet period, but to have a major event like this, I think it's I don't know, I think we're kind of early on that typical sequence of that every 14 months or so that they claim on the ETS event. So yeah, just we're kind of keeping an eye on this area. 10,429 epicenters of tremor since the 20th of March. Pretty big deal. Around the Bay Area here in the California region outside of Livermore, seen a 1.2. I think we already covered that. And there's the Redding area activity. Let's see what we got up here in Washington. Some movement around Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens as well. Let's go ahead and check out the volcanic seismicity map here at Mount Rainier. And last time I checked, they were kind of looking crazy on the seismograph. There was all sorts of weird readings, but I don't believe it was volcanic in nature. I think it was some type of technical glitches. But there is the last couple hours here at Mount Rainier, Camp Muir. Seen some distinct earthquakes here. You can see actually quite a few of them here in the black, in the blue, red. Quite a few spikes over the last couple hours to see what yesterday's activity holds for us. A little bit of movement here. This kind of looks like a distant earthquake. Not for sure where this took place at, but it is a seismic reading, and some other smaller quakes there in the area. Check out the previous day.
Could that have been that 4.0 that got picked up that was reported by Earthquakes Canada?
When was that though?
I think it was
that
yesterday.
Was it?
I think so.
Let's see what the
so.
times. That was around 0920, 01020. That's a good possibility. Let me look here at the Earthquakes Canada map and see exactly when that was.
That's the only one that seems to make sense.
That's going to be the 4.0 at around, that was on the 7th at 12:12 UTC time. So I don't think that's it. 12:12 would be further down. Actually, this shows the 8th.
Huh.
So that wouldn't be that one, I don't believe.
Then that was today, right?
Yeah, this was earlier today. So not for sure exactly what that is. Earthquakes Canada is showing some further movement up there into the northern end of the Cascadia subduction zone, right across this area where the kind of the Explorer plate up here to the north, and you got the Juan de Fuca plate here in the middle, Gorda plate down in the south. A lot of people like to just call this whole system the Juan de Fuca plate, but technically in terms there's 3 distinct separate plates here. You got the Explorer plate, and that's kind of where it's occurring, right here between the Explorer plate and the Juan de Fuca plate, with the most recent quake here earlier today, another 3.4. So definitely some activity working its way through this region and also into the Cascadia subduction zone. So yeah, not for sure exactly what that is, but there's definitely some activity kicking up here around the Mount Rainier area, and it's definitely some local activity there. Mount St. Helens, go ahead and check out this volcano up here real quick, and we'll zoom in to a specific seismograph monitor right there in the cone or in the dome. See what these folks are reporting. Same for here. See some of that activity there?
Yeah.
A little bit of movement there as well. See what the previous map has to show in the area.
If it works.
Yep, we're working. There's Mount St. Helens there. So this is earlier today and late last night. So movement, obviously, that's a well-distinct earthquake on the map there. Mount St. Helens and some other ones as well, some smaller ones. But there's a good handful of small microquakes there at Mount St. Helens as well. So, and of course, these guys, I don't think they're really showing any of that activity. Last 2 days, some movement up here, yes, but nothing showing up here over the last 2 hours. I don't think these other ones are the ones that we're seeing there on the map. Let's see what else we got. We'll check out the Newberry Volcano once again. This one here has been showing some signs of seismic activity as well. No volcanic yet. You never know, right? All it takes is a little push of movement and we get some volcanic activity, some microquake activity there at Newberry once again on that chart. And the previous map here, a lot of wind events going on up here, folks, too. So you got to remember there's some major wind events going on, and that could cause some issues with some seismograph readings up there at that type of elevation. I'm just looking on my map right now, seeing what the current wind speeds are up there around the area. We got wind gusts up there around 30-40 miles an hour out of the west. It looks like they're around the Newberry area. So sometimes stuff like that can show up as, you know, these little blemishes and little spikes here, but localized earthquake activity got a very distinct signature to it. And this here, I think, is wind, some type of wind event going on up there, which is going to be affecting us here too, probably in about an hour or two. It's supposed to have upwards of 50-mile-per-hour winds here in the Sacramento Valley in California. We're under a wind advisory, I think.
And a red flag warning.
A red flag warning for potential rapid fire starts because we are entering into our fire season, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yellowstone National Park. Let's go ahead and check out these guys real quick and see what they're reporting. I don't see any significant swarming to report in the region of Yellowstone. Actually, no activity whatsoever that's noteworthy. Looking back at the earthquake map here, throughout the central part of the country, southern plains, some movement around Oklahoma, and getting a pretty good increase in activity around the Pecos, Texas area. Again, quite a few 2s and 3s kicking off here over the last 24 hours. New Madrid zone, this is from last night, I believe, or early this morning, I believe. They're around, what is that, Dyersburg? Dyersburg, Tennessee, 1.5, 10.8 kilometers, eastern part of the country, all clear. Had an earthquake this morning pop off here around the Haiti area, 4.7 at 10 kilometers. Since then, we've seen a little bit of increase in movement here around the Puerto Rico area, northward around the Puerto Rico Trench, with some 2s and 3s popping up here in the area. South America remains quiet. Got a 4.0 in the Chile area, right there in the Peru-Chile Trench at 126 kilometers. And a little bit of activity today down in the South Sandwich Trench area, 4.7 was the activity from this morning as well in the South Pacific, Southern East Pacific Rise, 5.0 out there in the ocean. What do we got here for the Philippine Plate? Western side looks pretty active. Quite a few 5s and 4s in the area. Not super deep. Some of that's around 75 kilometers, but most of it's pretty shallow throughout the region there. Mariana Trench looks really quiet, and up here, Japan Trench into the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench, only 4.2 off the coast of Russia at 51 kilometers. Rest of the globe and the map, 4.7 in the Carlsberg Ridge. Other than that, nothing showing up throughout the Middle East or the Mediterranean region in terms of 4.0 and above, according to the U.S. agency, USGS. We'll go ahead and verify that, though, with the EMSC model. These guys aren't showing anything either in the 4.0 range. Mostly activity around the Philippine Plate and some activity into the Middle America Trench, it looks like. It doesn't, I don't even know if the USGS was showing that activity. I don't see anything here. Double check, make sure I got the map refreshed. Nothing showing up here on these folks. Although the EMSC model definitely showing some 4s there in the region, some lower grade 4s popping up here. in this area, just off the coast of Mexico, it looks like. All right, what else we got here? We checked out Tremor.
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Let's go out here into the Pacific. I always tend to miss those unless there's a bunch of red
like,
dots out there on the
wow.
island.
I say it looks kind of quiet, but I don't know if those are.
These are all some pretty much under 2.5 and above,
Yeah.
or 2.5 and below. I think we had one earthquake, 2.7 in that area, but this is somewhat typical.
Yeah.
Seeing that movement in there, no major swarms outside the area. Things look kind of just a typical day out there in the Pacific, blue Pacific Ocean. Getting some deep movement here in the Fiji Islands region. 4.3, 605 kilometers for that really deep earthquake, and this one here 4.5 at 577.7. So some further deep movement here in the area of Fiji. This area has been pretty quiet over the past few days, with a lot of subsequent or prior movement here in the area of the Philippines and the Papua New Guinea region. So starting to see deep movement. It's kind of like the cycle's beginning all over once again. When this happens, we definitely got to watch out when these deep earthquakes happen like that around Fiji. They're not super big, but they're deep and they're in the mid-4s. Got to watch this area southward here around New Zealand and the Kermadec Trench. That does play a major part in buildup of stress when we see the deeper movement here with the subsequent westward push of that plate that ultimately applies quite a bit of pressure up here, down here on this area, and also up here to the north, Japan Trench region. So you got to picture this as a whole, not just individual sections, because what goes on down here ultimately affects all other areas of the plate, and opposite as well. That's a given. That's a fact, 100%. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Nevada, mine in Nevada, some movement out there. Long Valley supervolcano. Just looks, I mean, no major unusual swarms to really report in the region. We are seeing some activity around the Alamo once again in Nevada. This region did see some activity a couple weeks ago. See if it's going to pull it up. Yep, it's still showing the swarm there. Just to the southwest of the Alamo, Nevada area. Some deeper movement as well. 23 kilometers for at least one of those earthquakes. That's some rather deep movement out there in Nevada. So a whole lot going on out there along the North American plate in terms of, well, super deep movement. Let's see what else we got here, folks. Alaska, some movement up here. This has been ongoing up in northern Alaska. 8 earthquakes here over the last 24 hours. The last 7 days does add a few more onto that number, with quite a few 2s and some 3s mixed in there as well. Most of it looks like it's between 3 and 10 kilometers in this area of the state of Alaska. Go back to the all magnitudes. I was going to say, if this was all magnitudes there with that amount of earthquakes, that's not good. That's quite a bit. But yeah, very typical here for this amount on a daily basis there. Aleutian Trench, some movement out there in the area of the islands, but no major unusual activity to report today. Let's see. We checked out Earthquakes Canada. I want to see what the latest earthquake here is on the map. Looks like way up here. This purple circle there into the Yukon region. It looks like 1.8, 4.7 kilometers. So, all right, space weather. What do we got on going on for space weather here, folks? You want to cover this part, Missy?
Do I want to cover it?
Yeah. What do we got for flaring? These folks are saying
30% chance for C flare. M and X flares are pretty low. Only 5%, 0.05% and 0.1%. There's a 4. Is that G0?
Yeah. So some elevated possibilities here. It looks like KP index of up around the 4, and we are getting it. See that yellow?
Yeah.
Right there, that is coming up. It is kicking up the aurora right here a little bit.
Yeah.
So that is actually, this is about the only one that they predicted that actually hit us. You know, they forecast a
Right.
lot of stuff, but
I was really looking forward to that other one.
a couple of the other ones have, you know, missed us entirely. We did see the tilt a little bit up here. Looks like southern tilt possibly. The speed, though, is not super way up there, so it has something to do with the crack in the where's the magnetosphere allowing that wind to come in, creating these conditions. The KP index up around 4 right now currently, and that's kind of what they're predicting, or at least forecasting. So we'll see if it gets any stronger, but yeah, it definitely got it. Smack dab this time. Far as any solar sunspots, I don't see any. Look at that. It's looking blank.
I know.
Nothing.
I wonder what's coming around the bend. I don't see anything yet.
Nothing yet. Not a whole lot going on. Some coronal holes with a little happy face here. See the eyeballs and the little face. Some ears over here. Kind of looks like Pac-Man. Is it Pac-Man? Like a giant Pac-Man maybe?
Right?
Yeah. So some coronal holes there kicking up.
Kind of spooky looking there.
It is a little spooky. I think the sun's going to give us quite the show.
It's smiling at us like you don't know what's coming.
Right? This one looks a little bit more evil. Some eyes
know.
right here, nose, and a little crooked mouth. And yeah. All right, folks. So it is Friday night. We do kind of jump on here together and chat amongst all the viewers and whatnot, and take any questions that anyone does have in regards to any space weather, solar activity, earthquake events, and we do like to take some questions and whatnot. So while we're waiting on some questions, I do want to I'm going to have Missy Mimi's jump in here and on the live stream. And I am going to check something here real quick on this end. Stand by for just a second. I do want to give a few shout outs here to folks who have donated recently on the channel. I know I don't do it enough, but I do appreciate all the donations. Last donation we had looks like $60 from Plastic African. We appreciate your donation here onto the channel. Kathleen Westbrook is always a big, huge contributor here to the channel. We appreciate you 100%. Donates quite a bit. Daniel Ashley has donated as well. We appreciate your help. George Lilies, or what's this right here? L. Lilies?
I believe. Yeah.
From Washington State. We appreciate your donations. Al Sanchez as well. And there's, who else do we have here? Tom Webster. Kathleen again. Lots of donations from Kathleen Westbrook. We appreciate you guys. Mary Light. Keep looking up. Tom Webster again. Kathleen. Rolling Thunder. DK from PA. Not for sure who this is. Asif Kidwai. Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Freebird, thanks for checking in and definitely donating here. I'm going back here to about early February as well. So I wanted to definitely wanted to jump in here and give a shout out to the folks that donate on the channel. And we appreciate every single donation that comes in.
So,
what do we got here?
Purple Bullet has one, but I can't scroll any further.
You can't scroll any further?
Any further up on mine. So go up a little bit.
Let's see what we got here.
Might have gone too far. Oh, wait.
That's at 5 o'clock.
I'm going to leave my question. So go down a little bit. Down. Oh, go back up. Okay, so back up a little bit. Back up. Back up.
What does the different triangle colors mean on a volcanic seismograph? Those are all different types of different types of stations, as far as broadband, short band, short period, three component broadband. Let me give you an example here. Let's go to somebody that's got a lot. St. Helens. Let me kick back up the stream so you guys can see what I'm showing you here. So yeah, these different color ones are different types of seismographs. Like the yellows are the 3 component, right? It shows you the stations over here, the 3 different types of seismographs. Well, there's actually multiple, but this is 3-component on the yellow. These red ones right here are a 1-component short period. Black, I'm not for sure what the black is. 3-component short period. There's all sorts of different measuring seismographs that measure different depths of quakes, and if they pick up far away quakes or just strictly localized. There's a lot of different types of seismograph stations, not just one, but these are all the different types as far as the triangles go in that aspect. I'm not for sure what this little, let me see here, looks like there was a, isn't that a weird, it doesn't even look like a triangle.
It's a hexagon.
So we got the 1-component short period and 3-component short period. So yeah, that's what those means. They're just different types of seismographs, and I don't even know a whole bunch about the individual different ones themselves. I just know there's a bunch that measure different waves and stuff like that when it comes to readings from the Earth.
Hey there, Freebird. Woohoo! Seeing if Free has a question. She had one last time.
She did?
But I didn't know if I don't think we ever got to it, because I think we had gotten offline. So I'm seeing. She said, "Oh, I figured it out. I wanted to know how to navigate Tremor map to find past activity."
Ah.
But that is a good one for people who don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty. This chart up here kind of shows you the monitoring that's been going since about 2010, and look at these graphs here. Within the past year or so, we've seen a number of large tremor events much closer to one another than times in the past. It kind of looks like these kind of were spread out more, and it looks like they're getting, the frequency of them are getting more and more closer together. So, but far as getting a specific area, you can highlight them on the map. Let's see, last week, last month, all data. You can take your mouse and kind of hover it over a certain area, and then left click and hold that and highlight it, and it'll show you here on the graph the amount of tremor. If you want to see it specifically on the map, you got to hit the search button after doing that, and it will pop up the data here. So this was from August 13th, 2012 to November 4th, 2012. So a period of how many months is that? About 3 months? Yeah, about 3 months or so. Huh?
Yeah, about 3 months.
So yeah, 24,000 epicenters of tremor back then in the 3-month period, and we're at what are we at? Well over 10,000, right?
Yeah.
For just 10 days.
10 to 15 days, maybe 20th through the 4th.
That's right, about 20 days.
Or 8th. Yeah, about 20 days. That's half that in a shorter period. For
I know, so pretty good amount of tremor. But yeah, that's kind of how you do it. You can also look at the last week of activity and the counts, and last month and whatnot. But yeah, pretty cool. And there's other stuff you can do. You can download these and do all sorts of cool stuff with them. What else we got?
Any more questions, guys? Anything out there? Anyone? You can write it in the comments.
These are somewhat near real-time seismograph stations that the PNSN puts out. We kind of like to run the specific live stations on the Earthquake 3D show, but these guys kind of give you that little glance as well when it comes to the certain seismographs. And of course they got spectrograms and all sorts of stuff out here, which we get into once in a while to check out certain levels of the quakes and whatnot and see what the frequency looks like. Volcanic, Mount St. Helens area. I'm not seeing anything volcanic. Like when there's tremor, harmonic tremor, it kind of gives off a different frequency. And you can actually see that on these graphs here, which is pretty cool. But I'm not seeing any unusual activity here with the spectrograms. What else we got?
If you're just tuning in, because the chat just went up a little bit, we're doing the question and answer show. So if you have any questions, pop them in the comments in live chat, and we will answer them. Just got a few more people jump in, so I figured I'd clue them in what we're doing.
Yep, you're welcome, Freebird.
Woohoo!
So yeah, just while we're waiting here, we got some major wind events coming in here into the Northern California area. See what we got. Here's the wind gusts is kind of what we're looking at. Look at these winds up here throughout Washington and Oregon. They're still up there in the the 40 knots. Where's the kilometers at? Hold on a second here. Do I have to change that back? Where's the I can't remember how to do the settings on this thing. I have it on my phone, but I don't really have it on the on here. Settings, knots, miles per hour. There we go. Might be a little bit better. So yeah, we're looking at some pretty good wind speeds up here throughout the area of Oregon and through some of the Cascades when it comes to the volcanic seismic maps. That's what could be picking it up. Here down in Chico, we got some winds kicking up outside right now, about 37 miles per hour or so out of the north. But later tonight, around 5, 6 in the morning, things are really going to start ramping up here with upwards of possible wind gusts around 50 miles per hour. And you can see that just right around the Chico, Northern California area. Right there in the Sacramento Valley, we always get these darn north winds, and they dry everything out and create a lot of static in the air. So that's what's going on for us. So if the stream does go down, we'll definitely try to get it up because it does tend to create some issues with the internet and whatnot.
I think that's it.
All right, folks, we're going to jump off here. Enjoy the rest of our Friday night. We do hope everyone has a safe night, and we will be back here tomorrow sometime. Make sure you guys subscribe while you're here. We're very close on to our goal of 75,000 subscribers. And I'm going to be starting up memberships here, folks, for the channel. We do have quite a few solid members here on the YouTube channel, and it's basically what it is. It's a feature that YouTube offers for kind of like the behind the scenes deal, extra videos. We might even bring in some just some other stuff besides earthquake and volcanic activity for our member videos, and that will be coming up. Our membership viewers would be able to view those special videos and also some perks and stuff like that here on the channel. So look for that. I will be rolling that out pretty soon. Just kind of an extra way to bring in some viewers and for the our solid fans out there. But man, we need to we're really close to 75,000 subscribers.
Yes,
and
so please like our videos, comment, and share them.
Sharing does help quite a bit. Yeah, it's very important. YouTube does have their algorithm that they put out, and sometimes we go through these waves of some heavy subscriber counts. We get a couple hundred in one day, but it's been kind of a little bit on the slow side. And sometimes YouTube does back off on it, depending on if the news is slow on earthquake or volcanic data. But man, share it out there on the social media. We do want to hit 75,000 subscribers and give away these prizes, but we can't do it until we hit that 75K level. So we're there. We're getting close, folks.
Yes, for sure, and we can't wait. We can't wait to do it. We can't wait to really can't wait to do our 75K giveaway. We're really excited for it. So help us get there. You could be a lucky winner.
Right? How many? We're gonna give away six prizes to 6 people this time. So.
And then when we hit 100, we're gonna do 10.
10. Yep. It's a long ways off, but it's really not. I mean, 100,000 is pretty possible by the end of the year if we had like a major
event or just
major event, or if more people found the channel. You know, a lot of people don't know about this channel. YouTube doesn't put this channel out for everyone, so. All right, guys, we're gonna jump off here. Any more questions?
no, Freebird said stay safe, both you guys, love you both, and awesome. She was wondering if we would do that. She said custom emojis too.
Yep.
That would be.
Yep, that's what they offer. So I'm just kind of trying to figure that out. We'll definitely get into that here pretty soon.
All right.
Alrighty, guys. Have a good night. We will chat to you tomorrow sometime, unless some major event happens. We'll see.
Oh yeah, we'll be here in the background.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Stay safe out there.